Today I'm going to show you these guys looming over my shoulder. Nutcrackers. This is my Nutcracker collection, and it's quite a collection. I've had them since I was a little girl. This is my very first one, my second one, and my most recent one, Queen Elizabeth II. So today, I'm going to talk you through all of these Nutcrackers and tell you where they're from and what they mean to me. And at the end of the video, I'm going to do a little decorating for Christmas with my Nutcrackers. So stay tuned until the very end and you get to see it. Now, Victoria and Albert of England were essentially German. Well, Prince Albert was 100% German, and Victoria was German too. So they're the ones who really are the father and mother of Christmas as we know it today in the West, bringing Christmas trees indoors and lighting them and decorating them and having nutcrackers and gingerbread. All of these traditions originate in Germany. So this Nutcracker was my very first one. My little soldier riding a horse, little rocking horse. And he rocks back and forth. And there's his little sword. And I must have been around 7, maybe 6 years old when I got him as a Christmas gift. And it was from my mother's friend at the time. Lori Tognoli was her name. And I was just absolutely thrilled to receive such a beautiful gift. I was a young ballet dancer in the Ballet Academy of the San Francisco Ballet and doing quite well there. And I started at 5 years old, and each year you had to audition to remain in the program and to train to become a professional ballet dancer. And so each year at the San Francisco Ballet, the Nutcracker is performed, as it is in many ballets all around the world, many companies. But we did it in such a way, and they still do, stage it with the children from the Ballet Academy, from the San Francisco Ballet Academy. So they got to play parts. So the lead part of Clara is played by a child, and it was this Nutcracker that she held, was the Nutcracker Prince. And so that was so thrilling to me. And I played with him, and I did all of the choreography of Clara in that ballet, and it was just a joy. So this is where my love of Nutcrackers originated from. And here is the same exact guy, the same Nutcracker, the prince from the ballet, in full form. So I also did all of the choreography with him, danced all around my house and my bedroom doing the ballet. So these two go together, don't they? And this is the next one that I received, and he is the Nutcracker as a king. He goes on in the ballet and gets crowned along with Clara. So he's very important. I love his little uniform. I love the primary colors of red, blue, and yellow. Really makes him pop. And look at his lovely blue eyes. The next Nutcracker that I received is Herr Drosselmeyer, and he is the magical toy tinker in the ballet. So in the first act, there is a ball, a Christmas Eve ball, and all the children are dancing, and Herr Drosselmeyer is the honored guest, and he is the toy tinker. And so he gives all the children toys, teddy bears and dolls and all sorts, drum sets and different things for the boys. And here is the Nutcracker that he gives to Clara. And here he's wearing the little crown, just like this fellow. So that's where the Nutcracker Suite story comes from. And there's his cape, his little Victorian cape, and his stovepipe hat. And he always has the hot eye patch. He's the mysterious magician. And this is the next character in the story. And this is the Rat King, who all the toys come to life. Herr Drosselmeyer weaves a magical spell, and the Christmas tree begins to grow after the children go to bed. And the Nutcracker becomes a prince, and the Mouse King. And so Clara is the size of a toy and moves through the ballet. And so first ensues a battle with the Mouse King or Rat King and the Nutcracker Prince. And of course he wins, and he takes Clara off on a sleigh through the winter wonderland into the candy kingdom, and the sugar plum fairy takes her along her way. So this is our lovely Mouse King. I just think he's so cute. I love his big mouse ears and his face and his really long tail. And I've left this on for some reason, but it's Christian Ulbricht. And here it is all in German and English, the story, and made in Germany. I think I'll keep that on there. It's been on there for most of my life. So I think he's very charming. So some of these were part of the collection of my mother. And so this is one of hers. And he's some sort of a ranger, a woodsman, a ranger of sorts. And he has a little deer antler. That's a very German symbol, isn't it? My father was German. So I enjoy celebrating part of my heritage with these nutcrackers, although they're for anybody, really. You don't have to be German to appreciate them. So this was one of hers. His lovely green uniform. I just like the mix of colors. And the next one we have is another of her collection. Just another soldier. He's got the Prussian helmet on. So he's a little Prussian fellow. From Germany used to be a bunch of principalities. And so there are a lot of princes and dukes, grand dukes, that sort of thing. And it was only unified in the, just recently, in the last, 130 years maybe? But it's a beautiful country. The next one of my mother's collection was this charming little fellow. He's much smaller than the other ones. You can see his size. And he's a chimney sweep. So I thought he was fantastic. I played with him quite a bit because I love Mary Poppins and Step in Time. Little chimney sweep, little ladder. He had some dust on his beard. Remove that. But he's very cute. And here's the next one from her collection. Another sort of Prussian soldier, little trumpeter. And he's the tallest out of all of them. You can see the size of his helmet. Here's another one. Now this one is interesting because he's different from all the others. These are painted wood and these are stained wood. So you can still see all of the wood grain. So he's a hunter. I don't approve of hunting at all, because I'm a real animal lover, but I think he is charming nonetheless, and he will be a part of my collection. Except little birds. We'll just think these birds are his friends. He didn't kill them with that rifle of his. Hey, it's my world. I get to make the rules. And this next one is another one of the tradespeople. I think he looks a bit like Geppetto from Pinocchio. He's a violin maker, and it reminds me of a Stradivarius, you know, the really super, super fine special violin that was made. Look at the little pencil in his headband. And here's some shells for violins. But it reminds me of Peter Sellers in the first Pink Panther movie in the 60s, when he's married to the famous model Capucine, and he thinks he's so romantic and he wants to romance her, so he plays, "Let me play on my Stradivarius for you," and she's just so annoyed by him that he thinks he's really a romantic hero. And the next is another little tiny one. He's even smaller than my chimney sweep, and he's a baker. And I've been doing a lot of baking lately. I like to make my own cinnamon sticky buns. I have a bread machine, get the dough started with that, and then I let it rise in the refrigerator, do a cold rise. And then I'm kind of on a health journey, kind of regaining my lost health. We'll be hearing about my story in January. And so I'm using just a very little bit of honey and cinnamon, so they're not just the typically sugar-laden ones. And I really enjoy them. And it doesn't spike my blood sugar, so I'm turning into quite a baker. I make whole grain breads and all sorts of things. So I like my little baker. I think he's so cute. And look, this cloth is very Munich. This check print. You'll see on the German outfits there, the regional outfits, the dirndls they're called, during Oktoberfest. So the ladies will wear this print a lot. But here is our baker. And this is one of my favorites. It's the beekeeper. And he has his little beekeeper netting and hat on. He's got the smoking pipe to soothe the bees so he can collect them. And look at a giant, looks like a queen. He's holding the queen. Look at her, she's so cute. And then he has a little sunflower in his hat and a bee up here. And he's holding a hive. And he has a little bee at his feet. But I like our happy little queen bee. I think she's so cute. So he better cover up so he doesn't get stung. And I'd like to learn to keep bees. I think that's going to be in the future when I set up my vegetable garden. I think I'll actually do some beekeeping as well, but in a very special way so that we don't steal all of the bees' honey and we take good care of them. I think that's real important to me. I think sometimes people over-harvest the honey. And this one I got when I was in art school in San Francisco. And because I am an artist, I'm a fine artist as well as a digital artist and graphic artist and art director, and worked in a number of commercial fields and advertising in New York City, and then in the film industry in California. And I've done a lot of different things. I also did set design and costume design for the ballet and the San Francisco Opera. And so this represents a lot to me. He has his little paint brushes, his canvas, and look at his little artist palette. And of course the French beret, like a typical Parisian. And I just love the little paint splotches on his little overcoat here, his little jacket. I just love the colors, these secondary colors, you know, the purples and oranges and a citrus green is very complimentary. So my artist self has been long gone, and I'm trying to get her back, and that's a part of my restoration dream, the name of this channel. I know it sounds like it's my house, but it's really about that, about finding yourself once you've lost yourself. So I'm planning to make a video, a trailer for the channel, a short film, releasing sometime in January, and hopefully that will inspire you to come along with me on the journey and watch it. So keep an eye out for that video. That's going to be a whole change to the channel and sort of share with you the direction that I have for the channel. And finally, here's my most recent one. I got her, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, and I just couldn't pass her up because I'm sure you might have seen her in my collection of Queen Elizabeth II items, and she features on the thumbnail and in the video, and I just love her. Like, it's just typical Queen Elizabeth hairdo with the curls at the sides of her cheekbones and this shade of turquoise blue she started wearing a lot starting in the 60s and then carried it all the way through into more recent times. This was just her trademark blue. I imagine it was one of her favorite colors. And of course her little Loner bag that she's famous for carrying, a British, beautifully well-made British design handbags for ladies, and I really want one someday. When I went on a tour of Buckingham Palace and some of the staterooms there, and in the gift shop at the end they had some real Loner bags that you can buy for yourself. And here she has a little brooch. She always wore lovely brooches. A little feather in her cap and a matching brooches there, and her blue eyes. And I love brooches too. So today I'm wearing for you one of my Christmas brooches I just got for $5. A little cardinal and some holly. I have a lot of cardinals here. So I thought that would be nice to wear for you all. And I just love brooches, actually. And I used to always have really beautiful, large Christmas trees brooches with enamel and jewels and snow and sparkles. And it happens to me every time. Someone I know will admire it, and then I'll feel like, I should give it to her. And so I do. And I'm glad to give it to people. I love giving gifts. But at the same time, I miss my beautiful brooches. So I'm always on the lookout for big Christmas tree brooches. And I will find one. So this little lady is my smallest one. And she is keeping charge over all the troops. Now, I would love to find a beautiful antique cabinet, like a china cabinet, to keep them all in, to keep them dust free. So I'll be on the lookout for one, and someday I will find one. Now let's get on to the decorating. And this is another one of my favorites because he is a Scottish Highlander with his bagpipe. He's playing his bagpipe. And he has this cute little sporran on, little purse. And look at his beautiful, this is actually a wool tartan. This is a real tartan. And his little shoes, and he has his stockings. Look, isn't he cute? And then he has his little tam o'shanter on top with a little pom-pom. I love this, look. It has sort of a tartan sprayed look on it. And his green formal jacket. And I just think he's mighty good looking, and it works for, I got him because I'm also have Scottish heritage. So he is fitting for the collection, don't you think? And he can play for the Queen every morning when she wakes up outside of her window. Don't you think, Bear? Don't you agree? Are you sleepy? Are you a sleepy boy? And here is the finished look with just 5 of the Nutcrackers. That's all that's gonna fit up there on the mantle. I have an ice crystal garland of snow and little ice crystals Like here, you can see them. And then I have flame flicker bulbs, which I love. I think they look like little candles. And then on the, I have mercury glass candle holders, an American hobnail with flicker candles. And I just love the way they look on the wood trim. And I've chosen to use 5 nutcrackers, kind of in shades of reds and greens with a little point of blue. And here they all are. I think they look so regal. Put the tallest one in the center. And there's my piper and my woodsman. And it's just giving a really nice little glow. Do you like it? So I hope you enjoyed seeing my collection of nutcrackers. And like I said, I really want to find a china cabinet to keep them in, and that way I can see them all year and not just bring them out at Christmas time. I think that would be really nice. So I hope you enjoyed seeing the beautiful Christmas mantle you can create with your nutcrackers and just have that whole vintagey German / Victorian, you know, handmade type of Christmas decor. I just think you can't beat it. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.